Good evening. It is November 18th, 2025, 6:01. I call the DeKalb Township Board of Trustees meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Hess.
Here.
Highway Commissioner Smith.
Present.
Assessor Dyer.
Here.
Trustee Bradlow. Trustee Eager.
Here.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Here.
And Trustee Thurman.
Here.
And Clerk Bernal is here.
We have one. Stand for the pledge, please. Trustee Thurman, will you?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next, presentation, or no, I'm sorry, next approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So, second.
One correction I want to make before we take a vote on it is under L, other business. The next Board of Trustees meeting is December 9th, not December 8th. So I made a mistake there. Anyone else have any corrections they wish to make? Okay, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Abstentions? Okay. Agenda is approved. Next, we have presentations. So we have a big day on Thursday, celebrating our 175th anniversary. And so through this proclamation, we capture a little bit of the history of our 175 years. So bear with me as I read this out loud. Whereas DeKalb Township proudly marks its 175th anniversary in 2025, commemorating a remarkable history of service, progress, and community spirit. And whereas the township was first organized in 1850 under the name Orange, but soon adopted the name DeKalb after the Revolutionary War hero Johann von Robius, Baron DeKalb. And whereas at its founding, the township encompassed much of the surrounding countryside, including areas that would later become the townships of Malta, Afton, and Milan, with early settlers working together to establish roads, farms, schools, and churches that laid the groundwork for a thriving region. And whereas the early years of DeKalb Township were shaped by civic-minded residents, such as Thomas M. Hopkins, its first supervisor, and others who embrace local government as a means to build community and care for their neighbors. And whereas from those earliest days, DeKalb Township has been dedicated to serving those in need, a mission that began with the overseer of the poor and continues today through general and emergency assistance and partnerships with social service agencies that strengthen the fabric of our community. And whereas the arrival of the railroad in 1853 transformed the township from a quiet agricultural area into a growing center of commerce and innovation, setting the stage for the development of the village and later the city of DeKalb. And whereas through 175 years, DeKalb Township has remained steadfast in its core responsibilities to maintain local roads and infrastructure, support public welfare, and uphold the values of a responsive, transparent government. And whereas today, DeKalb Township continues to reflect the character, compassion, and perseverance of the people who built it, standing as a proud symbol of local democracy and shared purpose. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the DeKalb Township Board does hereby celebrate the 175th anniversary of DeKalb Township, honoring its rich heritage, its enduring commitment to service, and the generations of residents whose hard work and vision have shaped its success. Be it further proclaimed that the board expresses deep appreciation to all who continue the township's mission, past, present, and future, in keeping DeKalb Township a place of community, compassion, and progress. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of DeKalb Township to be affixed this 18th day of November 2025. So we will have this on display at the celebration on Thursday, which I hope you all will stop by. And Craig, you'll address parking?
Yes.
Okay, all right. No one here to make public comments. So reports. Since our last board meeting, some of the things that have gone on, Casey and I attended the Project Hope kickoff celebration. That was at Verandas. Project Hope is a project that is to be completed by a new not-for-profit group established with New Hope Baptist Church. So they have land adjacent to their church on Twombly Road. And they are going to be building a community center there. And so this was the launch of their capital campaign. Seems like it's going to be a great asset to that part of town, being able to serve youth with positive activities, as well as things for adults. So they hope that, I think their capital campaign, they're expecting it to be about 3 years. Once they have a certain dollar amount, which I don't remember what it is, they want to break ground. So we're hopeful that they can do that in the time that they have outlined, and some of the programming that they're already doing is certainly something that our community on youth, I think, would be happy to support. On October 24th, I attended the Joint Review Board meeting. That's the all the taxing bodies in regard to our TIF districts. And at that meeting, I requested consideration for funding for upgrading our security system here in the building and installing automatic opening doors. They were not able to approve it at that meeting. Several of the representatives of the taxing bodies said they had to go back and talk to their boards. Plus, because it's a new TIF, they haven't, any money that they're accumulating right now is going to go toward the ground testing and remediation of the old tunnel property just south here on our north of us on 4th Street. But the door is open. I believe that we will get it in at some point. On the 28th, I attended the DeKalb County not-for-profit HR workshop where I learned a lot about human resources. Each of us have the authority or supervise our own employees, and so understanding human resources is certainly something that we need to do in order to stay in compliance. So that was good to go to, and great that it was local and could do that. On the 30th, Craig and Rich and I had a meeting with Resource Insurance. They're our insurance broker. And through doing some research at the time of renewal with our medical insurance for our employees here, we were able to switch from one PPO network to another PPO network that seems to not disrupt our provider selection. It does not disrupt our benefit levels, but we're able to save $30,000 by doing that. So in 2026, we'll be having that cost savings, and the savings will, accumulate over the years. So we all agreed that was a good thing. The general assistant staff and I got a demonstration of a tool called Translate Live. It's essentially like Dale has there, like an iPad, but it's double-sided. And so as we are experiencing more individuals coming in here, speaking language, there's language barriers. Kim is able to help us through a lot. She's in Spanish, and even with the assessors department, she's able to help out. But we have had some people come in here who are speaking French, and so this tool allows us to we talk into our side of the pad, and on the other side of the pad, in their language, it types out what we're saying. And then they're able to speak back, and then on our side of the iPad, it types out what they're saying. And so it has multiple languages. So I think it's something we're gonna move forward with, and then all of us, you know, could be trained on how to use it so that we are able to serve members of our public who aren't English speaking.
Is that a subscription fee or is it a one-time purchase?
It is a annual fee. There's the purchase price for the device, and then I think it's an annual fee. I can send you, I should have printed out what that is.
What's it called?
It's called Translate Live. So it's a pretty nifty device. On the 6th of November, Tiffany and Casey, because of the effects of the government shutdown and people not getting their SNAP benefits, we were able to, we have a provision in the general assistance code that we can provide household and personal and food assistance. So when the clients came to pick up their gift cards, and in the beginning of the month, we gave them, basically it was a shopping list, and there were choices in multiple categories: dairy, fruits and vegetables, and things like that. And they were able to select what they wanted. And Casey and Tiffany spent a couple hours shopping, came back here, assembled all of the packages, and then went and delivered it to the clients. So they were able to get, we had 25 clients, so it was no easy feat. So, and the gratitude, you know, it's amazing how thankful they were. So it was wonderful. On the 10th, 11th, and 12th, Joan and Craig and I were all at the TOI conference, where we received this lovely award. I had nominated our Wise and Well Senior Summit for the most innovative senior program of the year. And those who make the decisions agreed that it was a great program. I sent them the book that, you know, showed all of the courses and everything. And so really I accepted that on behalf of Kim, because she put so much effort into making it such a wonderful event. So it was wonderful to be recognized for that. So hopefully we can come home with more of these in the future.
How was the rest of the conference too?
It was good. There were some really good sessions.
Good.
Joan and I saw the Northern Lights.
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
Good.
We went to we didn't have to miss that. Went to a reception at the Lincoln Library that was super cool.
Nice.
So yeah, it was good, and made some connections, and that networking thing works out well. Then on the 14th, because I met the Dundee Township supervisor at the conference, made the connection with her, but I had already scheduled an appointment to go to their cemetery to meet with their cemetery manager, because they have a columbarium, the type that we're looking at getting. And so I requested a demo on how you take the niche cover off and put it back on, how the ossuary works, how they do their services. I'm a visual learner, and so I needed to see how they do all that. And it was great to talk to them and learn how they do their pricing, and a lot of valuable information. And then went over to the supervisor's office and chatted with her for about an hour about how, you know, they do things at Dundee Township. So a lot of value came out of that.
How big is their township? Is it similar, or is it?
It's a bit bigger.
Okay.
I don't know what their population is, but
Is there like staff wise too, or?
no, they're smaller than us. They
Okay.
the supervisor is new this year, and previously, they had one GA client and they just don't advertise it really.
Mhm.
And so now they brought in a person to handle their financial assistance and they're hoping to drive that up. One of the things that they have that I found to be very interesting is they're big on open spaces. And so land that would typically belong to like a forest preserve, they own and maintain. Um, I mean, they have several different pieces of land throughout their township, and they have like an open spaces committee, and so that was different. And then they were shocked to hear that we have an IG with our road district for cemetery maintenance. Like, how do you afford that? And apparently their road district is union, and they said there's no way they could.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah, but they were a little bit jealous.
Other than, I don't know. Gee, do part-time help, stay away from the usual contract.
You can take it up.
I could be innovative and start, yeah. We
So-
are probably, and I don't mean to interrupt, but we are probably the only ones that I'm aware of that do that in the state. Really? That's 1,400 townships.
Wow.
And
I
I've
didn't
asked and
realize that.
asked, and I don't know of anyone else that does it.
We are not union?
We are not union.
You mean we're the
No,
only one
we're
that-
the only ones that has an IGA that maintains the cemetery.
Well, we are thankful for that.
What do they use their open space for? Is it just
It's like walking paths
Okay.
and,
kind of
Is
like?
it pollinated?
Yeah.
Or is it?
there's some
pollinators?
pollinator gardens and then they have a couple of staff that maintain
Mhm.
and,
Their cemeteries are nice too.
Yeah.
I mean, the one on the corner.
East.
Been years ago, but they're very well maintained cemeteries.
Yeah. And the burials they have, oh my gosh. They opened a new section just before COVID hit. And I think it had 1,000 spaces in it and it is almost full.
Wow.
Well, it's in my report later. I told them we had 3 burials last week. And I mean, I shouldn't get excited that we put burials. But, I mean, it's great that
I'm just
people are
happy it's before the snow.
choosing our cemeteries and our cemetery. And they're like, yeah, we usually have like 3 a day. I'm like, well,
3 burials a day?
Wow.
yeah.
I think they have multiple cemeteries in there.
Well, they have 2 and the other one's closed, I think. So this is their only active one. Yeah, they're opening another whole new section. So yeah, I could, talk cemeteries all the time.
Got her hooked.
I know. Today,
Get in there.
Craig and I attended a DeKalb Chamber of Commerce event, again on the subject of HR. So walked away with learning more today. And then tomorrow, we have Illinois Department of Human Services coming in to do a presentation on the new SNAP requirements, the work requirements. So all of our GA clients will be here to learn about that. And we are already a step ahead by having our community work program. So those that are involved in that program will be able to report those hours and hopefully won't have any disruptions to their SNAP benefits. And then also, Craig and I are doing a presentation to the Kishwaukee Kiwanis tomorrow for their lunch meeting. And one of the things I learned today is I was told by previous legal that elected officials did not have to participate in the sexual harassment training. Today, I asked that question during this HR session, and that is not true. She was able to come back to me with the Illinois law that mandates that employers provide annual sexual harassment prevention training to all employees, including elected officials. So if you've done it for work, if you have a certificate, you could just provide that to us. If not, DCNP and the chamber are offering one on, I think it's December 8th. And I can send you the information for that. It's an hour session. And you would just register so that you could get a certificate then.
How often does that happen annually?
I think the road district's doing it here, I think Monday morning, this coming Monday. It'll be here like at 7:30 in the morning, but you're more than welcome to join us. It is not an hour long. IDOT provides us with a tape, so we just sit in here and watch it.
For my 3 hours every 2 years, so.
What's that?
My 2 years.
Oh, really? Yeah, so if you have your certificate,
Do you want that on file?
yes.
I think mine was March, like when the chamber did it last time, wasn't it like March or something? So I might as well just do it in December. Right? Yeah.
So I will forward you email.
Yes, please.
And then we'll send that certificate to you.
They'll probably send it to you. They'll probably email it to you and then you could just.
No, my certificate.
Oh, yes, you can send
Send
me.
it to you.
Mhm. Dale, do you have to do this at NIU? Do you already have it?
Yeah, I have a certificate. I just wrote myself a note
Okay.
and forwarded to you. We just did it about maybe a month ago.
Okay,
Less.
all right. And then cemetery update, like I said, we had 3 burials last week. All were cremations, so it's an up and thing. The columbarium, I have now finished conversations with 2 companies. So the product ranges from 88,000 to 135,000. So we will be, the attorney is finalizing the bid documents for that, and we will be going out to bid. And I hope that at the December or January meeting, I'll be bringing that back for us to vote on, and then we can get the contract. Same with Prairie Park or Peace Park. The final drawings have been completed and we're ready to go out to bid on that. Fairgram will be handling the whole bid process for us. And so we will not have that for the December meeting, but probably the January meeting, and get that secured so that we can break ground in the spring. Hoping it comes back with what, the price range we're expecting. And then in front of you is a newsletter that Kim worked very hard on and did an amazing job. That captures a lot of the history of the township as well as recent events. And then we are helping out TB Ryan by collecting food here for Freezing for Food. So please tell your family and friends. They have a collection box there. You can even bring something on Thursday if you'd like. So I think that's everything I have. Any questions about any of that?
And he's doing that on Friday. TV.
TD is doing Let's Talk Turkey on Friday. Freezing for Food
Oh, it's
is
2 different programs. Okay.
November, it's December, early December, when he'll be out at Hy-Vee. So we're hoping that we can fill a plow truck with food and.
Deliver.
Yeah.
I had my 2 events mixed up. Thank you.
Okay. Clerk's report?
We were in the Township Officials of Illinois, the perspective that in your copy. Got it by now. 2-page spread, just going over a lot of different activities that we have done. So good to see us in the trade newsletter. So that's great. Like Mary said, I did go down to the conference. I was really glad I did. It's 3 days out of life and but I did really learn a lot. All of the training that I've taken since I became clerk has really been very beneficial. Townships really are the oldest form of government, which I don't know that I really realized before this. And they are really making a big difference to the people who live right next door to us, which is really, really needed at this time. Our keynote speaker was Jim Morris, who was known as The Rookie. It's based on a film by the same name. He went out for the MLB at the age of 35. And I really found that he geared his presentation to his audience. And he talked about dream makers and dream killers. And I really want to think that everybody here, especially those of you serving on the board here, are really helping to be dream makers. It doesn't take much when somebody is really struggling, like your GA participants, to have somebody down and just give them a hand up. So he really talked about that a lot, and that, we all have a choice. He talked about the mistakes he's made, the errors and all of that, and owned up to them and really admitted them. And he had a lot of negative voices, dream killers in his life, and he chose to go with the dream makers and become one himself, and challenged all of us to look in the mirror and, are we making our own dreams, and are we making the dreams of others, or are we being the dream killers? And so, I really found that, that kind of hit home, especially given today's environment. And then, like Mary said, we did get a chance to go to the Lincoln Museum, and we got to see one of 5 original copies of the Gettysburg Address, which is not usually on display. That whole exhibit is a rotating display that they do every 4 months. So we were there at the opportune time. It was really cool to see that. The birthday of the Gettysburg Address is tomorrow. Interesting. So I just find it as relevant today as it was 163 years ago, especially given the time. So it was a great conference. You'll be hearing more about it. I can't cover everything in one day, so I'll touch on that for now. But I'm really glad I got to go, and really glad I got to spend some time with Mary and Craig, getting to know them a little bit more. And you guys are dream makers too. With the staff and everything that you do, making sure that the township constituents are supported. So thank you. That's all I have. Yes. Have a commissioner's report?
Well, I don't have any awards, but other than that,
That's all right. I'm still a minute.
You're still a dream maker.
yes. Well, I'd like to think so. So I didn't print out anything, and then as I started writing my list this afternoon, I thought, well, I probably should have given you something, but just for a building update on the new building out back. It pretty much everything's done outside, other than there is a fence that'll put between the new building and salt shed, and then the townhomes behind us. Was kind of an agreement we made with the townhomes, to help. Mostly the salt shed might be the ugliest structure I've ever seen in my life, so it kind of buffers that. We are leaving a space in the fence. They have a real troublesome thing eliminating their snow. There's no place with the tight areas and all the driveways, so they've always kind of plowed the snow onto this property, and I've really never had a problem with it. So we're gonna leave a space in the fence for them to put the snow over on this property. Just to kind of be neighborly, as we've always tried to do. So they're kind of working inside, and that leads me to Thursday night. Not with the lack of space in front, any of you are more than welcome to park in the back lot. And I will have the contractor leave the lights on in the building. So if you want to stick your head in, look around, it's a lot bigger now than what it ever looked like on a blueprint. I will say that much, but it will fill up quickly. And the back door closest to the air conditioner, kind of up in the corner there, will be unlocked, and you're more than welcome to come in that way. And for the event on Thursday afternoon or evening. And the building is running under budget right now. I'm stickler on that, and they, you know, I've heard more times than none that they've never worked with anyone like this in the government world before. That, you know, tends to not stay on budget. So yeah, there's been some very heated discussions on that, but we are staying under budget actually. So the other thing, Nate, that has worked for me now for 2 summers, as of the first Monday in November, has come on as full-time employee and will work for me year round. I don't know 100% if this is what he wants to do the rest of his life. But and he turns 21 in December, but he does want to give this a try. And he's also very involved in the Cortland Fire Department, that is volunteer and wants to kind of pursue that, but is very unsure. So and I think Mary would say the same. He's probably the best young person we've had around here. He's really good with cemeteries and stuff. So
Very socially.
yes. He started his own lawn mowing business when he was 12 and he's still doing it today. So he's just a really good young guy. So my part-time seasonal worker is done as of the end of October. You all know him as he sat in this room on these nights before. So he's moved on to bigger and better things, I think. So and he will not be here on Thursday night. He did share that with me. So as far as the guys, we do leaf pickup similar to what the city of DeKalb does in our residential areas. And so we are doing that along with leaf pickup in the cemeteries. That we've done one pass. I haven't been over at Oakwood to see if we need to do it again over there or whatever. So that's kind of where that's at. Today with the rain and stuff, we kind of gave this building some love. And with the upcoming event, a lot of the ceiling tiles get stained, so, and we had some light bulbs out, and then, you know, because I have a building full of like, what I like to tell people of all my other wives, we had to hang pictures and clocks and do all those kind of honeydew lists, I will say, so.
Did you hang these pictures?
Yes, we hung those pictures there, the cemetery, they are very nice, they need a different colored background, I think we've decided.
Yes, the
so.
mat.
But so we don't always find the time. I let things pile up on the building on the inside. When the weather's good, we're out on the road. So, and I will give Rich and Mary credit for allowing me to kind of let things pile up in here, and then we come in and just kind of destroy the atmosphere for one day and knock it all out and then get out of here. So, on another note, I am now done as the president of the Illinois Highway Commissioners Association. So you will no longer read my wonderful or not so wonderful articles every month. I'm done doing that, and I can't be more than happy that I can say that's over with.
Thank you for your
But,
service.
Yes, and but I was voted on back onto the TOI board, the Township Officials of Illinois board, for another 3 years. So God help me with that.
You didn't win an award at the conference?
I guess I could have brought it up. I did get a certificate to that, so yes, I probably will get it made into a t-shirt or something to wear. But
We're nice black.
yes, yeah. So that's it. The HR training I was very impressed with. I've been to numerous ones, never locally like that. That me and Mary went to today. It was very interesting and very informative. I enjoyed going to that, so and I will attend more of that stuff. So the county sheriff's department reached out to us about a month ago. They got a grant to buy portable, what we call portable scales, to weigh the larger trucks in the area. They have a set now, looking for a second set. And they got a grant of $10,000, but the remaining $6,000, the scales are about $16,000 per, and they have 2 truck enforcement officers. That's a whole nother training through the state police that they have to do on top of what any officer does, local officer, sheriff, or city police. So unfortunately, our reached out to our attorney, and it's just not something that the road district can do. We cannot do donations of any sort with our funds. We are restricted from doing that. So it's just one of those things. So it's hard to win awards when you're so restricted on your money. I'm not gonna get over that, so. But with that being said, yeah, I think that's it for me. Unless there's any questions for me, so.
Assessors report?
It's that time of year, we're dealing with board of review, appeals from the county. As of a couple days ago, there was 90 total in the county. I don't have an exact total of mine yet, because there's still some that I haven't received. But it appears that there's only about 12 that are new appealers. A lot of them are already from going through the board of review last year or at the property tax appeal board, so they're just, it's a formality to have the hearing until the property tax appeal board hears their hearing. I did have my first ever appeal by a taxing body. That was the school district appeals the assessment on the Amazon building. Basically what they had an appraisal done, what they're asking for is basically what I had originally valued it back into 2023. So my numbers were really close at that point, but the board of review lowered it at that point, and it stayed down for 2 years, and now the school district is appealing my assessment, which is actually the board of review's assessment. But that's basically all we're dealing with at the assessor's office, along with Scott being out in the field, Andrew dealing with the residential, especially with the new construction, and Corey's my data entry guy. So that's all I got.
And I'll add, when those industrial properties, when the board of review lowers those like that, when the taxing bodies have already set their levies, that gets dumped on any homeowner and other property owners, because our numbers are already in, correct? I mean, when they lower it, then everyone else pays a little more. So to be that close to something is really good job, in my opinion. So, Rich.
Yeah, I was at 17.37 back in 2023, and the school board's looking for 17.9. That's not awful with that large of an industrial.
Not closer to what the county board of review did.
What did they lower it
They
to?
lowered it to 14 million.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let us know how that went. So,
And myself and Mary, because with the levies, we get a copy of it all. You know, there's been years where you'll get a big stacks, and then there's years like this year where they've been trickling in, but not so bad. So, because that's when we usually go ask Rich all these stupid questions.
Okay. No other questions? Okay. Trustees report? Trustee Akers?
No report.
Trustee McLaughlin?
No report.
Trustee Thurman?
No report.
All right, moving on to item G, bill paying. Can I get a motion to approve the October audit reports in the amount of $741,131.15, and the November bills to pay in the amount of $110,376.54.
So moved.
A second.
Questions? It's the road district that gets carried most of that October big building payment, right?
Shit, that was coming.
Do you remember how much, Ms. White?
It's not the building payment yet, but it's transfers to pay, you know, our portion of. So that will be, we're probably in January to a conventional.
All right, no questions, roll call, please.
Trustee Thurman,
Aye.
this is, gotta get the right count, okay. Trustee Akers,
Aye.
trustee McLaughlin,
Yes.
and Supervisor House.
Yes,
Motion passed.
all right, Can I get a motion to receive, file, and approve the treasurer's October budget reports?
I'll second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee McLaughlin,
Yes.
trustee Thurman,
Aye.
trustee Akers,
Aye.
and supervisor Hess.
Yes.
Motion passed.
No unfinished business, new business. May I get a motion to approve ordinance 2025-03R, DeKalb Township Road District levy?
I'll so move.
I'll second. Do that much. So presentation of the levy.
So, yeah, for me, that's fine. So what I'm requesting is a 1% increase from the funds I took in last year, which would be a total amount of $14,075.04 would make my total levy $1,400,020. Or I'm sorry, $420,000 for 44957. So that increase, that $14,075.04 will go into my building and equipment fund. Help with the payment. Payment right now, the projected payment on the building will be about $175,000 annually. So because of the state, when what they've just done, that doesn't affect us directly, but so any grant funding by moving, when they just voted to move all extra monies out of IDOT and interest monies out of the MFT funding to go for the collar counties and public transportation, and then the tollway, which if you can tell by my tone of voice that I do not agree with that, any of that, tends to affect us in a negative way here for any extra grant money. So when you're redoing a road, there's all sorts of grants and extra money you can get through IDOT. That's gone away and will probably go away for anywhere from 5 to 7 years until that replenishes itself. But now what we are hearing and what we had a speaker from IDOT in charge of local roads, and he's retiring the end of the year, which is a great loss to the road districts around the state. Tim, can't even tell you his last name off the top of my head, but the state is also introducing another law or a bill in the spring to then take some more of that funding for the collar counties and the tollway authority. And then that would reduce, and including reducing the needy township fund, which we are not able to use, and other funds. So I did my due diligence to try and keep this levy as low as possible and even try to stay the same. And that's why I'm able to work it out to be only $14,000 with the increases to utility costs and things that we foresee coming in the next few years, and with the new building, which shouldn't be a great utility increase. I guess that's where I'm asking for it. I can answer any questions that you have on that.
So, Craig, you're saying that we've lost funding. And we have inflation.
Yes.
That's at least, 2 or 3%.
Yeah, I mean, the CPI this year is 2.9%.
Yeah. And you're going up just 1%?
Yes, sir.
Wow. That's good.
And I'm hoping to hold that or even better in the foreseeable future. And with doing that, and you have to understand, when my levy is at 1,400,000. So last year, my road and bridge fund, 50% of that money under state statute goes to any city or village within my boundaries. So last year, the city of DeKalb received $177,000 of that money. And the city of Sycamore got almost 11,000. So when, you take that away, almost $200,000, now I'm down to 1.2. So any increase that I do, if I increase that money and put it into that road and bridge fund, 50% of that increase goes away. So and I'm not opposed to that, but that's why it's all going into my building and equipment fund. That money stays here along with my permanent road fund. So the three levied funds that you would see on that full sheet, the road and bridge will stay the same. Because I think I can hold that. And that's where that's where all the utilities and everything come from. To pay for the building. Permanent road you cannot do, nor building and equipment. So I have to lean the extra money that was in building a road and bridge to help pay for the building payment has kind of gone away because that's my most open fund to, or less restricted. So now I can pay for it out of building and equipment is why I'm going that route. Otherwise, I couldn't stay at that 1%.
Are you gonna have to cut back on other projects in the future?
Not road projects. It's what we'll end up doing is extending out equipment a little longer, which I think we can do. I've got a couple trucks due, one in 16, one in 26, and then one in 28. And I think those can go to 12 or 13 years. They're 16 to 18 pickup trucks that I think I can extend to 12 or 13 years on those.
Any other questions? All right, roll call then.
Okay. Supervisor Hess?
Yes.
I'm sorry, trustee McLaughlin,
Yes.
trustee Akers,
I,
and trustee Thurman.
Aye.
Motion passed.
You'll be going up to the county clerk tomorrow, huh?
Yes.
2 levels to deliver. Well ahead of schedule.
And thank you, by the way.
Okay, next, can I get a motion to approve resolution 2025-010 T awarding annual human service funding allocations?
So moved.
Discussion. Okay, I apologize. I don't know the year that the township started doing this, but for many, many years, the township has been helping support local social service agencies, typically agencies that we work closely with, we make referrals to, they make referrals to us. And in the packet, I included a copy of the Township Code 60 ILCS 185-13 that outlines kind of the parameters around this process. And so we have to follow these things closely because it's the law in saying what organizations we can partner with to receive our tax dollars and restrictions as far as how long they're in operation and so forth. So a lot of the organizations that we fund have received funding for several years. This year is a little bit unique in the sense that we know the cuts that are coming to public services. And so the selection process was a little more challenging. In total, we received 26 applications this year, amounting to a request of $370,090. So what is being recommended, there's a list there. On that table there is the stack of applications that were reviewed. So these they were due to us at the end of July, and we try to get them approved at our October board meeting, but just with schedules, we weren't able to do it. And actually, it worked out well because with the government shutdown, some of our partnering agencies were a little more strained And so they have, some of their resources have, already been spent. So, I appreciate, like Rooted for Good, every couple of days we get updates on how many they're serving. And so we're really, tuned in to what's going on in the community as far as food insecurity. So since the board packet was made last night and I sent you the original resolution, through Casey participating in the Metro Township Association, training today, we, neither of us were aware that the public act, a public act that relates to, the township code was updated. So it used to be that, township funds could only go to, agencies that, served people with citizenship of the United States. And an amendment was made so that, the township may not prohibit an organization from receiving township funds based on the perceived citizenship or immigration status of the person who would receive those funds from this organization. So originally, so FLAP, Farm Worker and Landscaper Advocacy Project, who we have partnered with, throughout the year. They were a presenter at our senior summit. They assist individuals, who work in like canning facilities, landscaping, farms, to make sure that they are, not being, taken advantage of when it comes to workplace or housing or, you know, any laws that we have. And, so they do a lot of good work here in this community. So since finding out that we can, provide funding to their organization who, serves a combination of people with and without citizenship, we went ahead and amended our list so that, they had originally asked for $10,000. And because it's the first year they're working with us, we would like to award them $2,500. So the resolution has been updated to reflect that. So I would need, well, first, let me ask if there's any questions about any of this. I gave a description of what each program, was, requesting money for. Like I said, there are 26 applications received. We are recommending, funding for 19 of the applications. A total of 6 were unfunded. Those are not on your list. But those were, for a variety of reasons. One was because, they wanted money for utility assistance. Well, we do utility assistance, so it wouldn't make sense for that. Another was for food. And so, for a very restricted use. There are a couple that are more charity based and not really a social service, so we didn't feel that that, fell into the township code. One was a unit of government who receives their own tax dollars, so we don't feel that's good use of our money. So 6 we, did not recommend for funding. And the Salvation Army, that says TBD because they, requested, money for freezers. And so we want them to send us quotes for the freezers for their food pantry, and determine, you know, just how much they need. So, and unfortunately, last year they didn't return their contract to us. We have to have a conversation with them about that too. So any questions about any of the?
So they do have a contract then where they have to report back to you as far as what was spent, or like what are they reporting back anything, or?
We don't require, we haven't required reporting. We are, going to be including something in this year's contract about reporting because this is a new, application. And so we ask about goals and outcomes. We are going to be asking about that. For some of them, like Salvation Army last year, they requested money for gas cards.
Mhm.
So when we received their application, we asked them to send us a list of who received gas cards. Unfortunately, it stated in our contract that our funds are for DeKalb Township residents only. And they provided gas cards to some people who lived outside the township. So we're trying to figure out what we need to do to communicate that better.
Mhm.
And then additionally, I would like to, based on some conversations I had with some executive directors, because a lot of township supervisors are fairly new, I'd like to host a meeting after the holidays to have a conversation about this particular section of the township code and the allowances that we have to use public funds to support, especially, if we're gonna, there's gonna be a significant cut to public housing and to food pantries. And that's gonna affect everyone in DeKalb County. And so, some of these other townships can help, LIHEAP people are not, they're receiving a fraction of the benefits they have in the past. So seniors who live on a fixed income, I think we just need to take a fresh look at what townships can do to help individuals.
Increases the utility.
And then the 2,500 that is added for the new program, that's not taking away from anybody then, that's just adding to it.
Correct. Yep. We had, I forget what we had budgeted for this, but we're not maxing out. Any other questions? Okay, so I am going to make a motion to amend resolution 2025-010T to add farm worker and landscaper advocacy project for amount of 2,500 to the total. Does anyone care to?
My second.
Okay. So roll call on the amended.
So you made the first.
I make a motion, Dale second, and then we need a roll call.
Okay. Trustee McLaughlin,
Yes.
trustee Akers,
Aye.
trustee Thurman,
Aye.
and Supervisor Hess.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay. So now we made a motion and had a second to approve this. So now,
Now we need a motion.
no, what to bring it to the table and have the discussion. We had the motion that was
To amend it. Okay.
I motion that we move to approve the amended order in the amount of $21,000.
in the amount of 178,500.
178. Oh, I'm sorry, I did my math wrong.
Sorry,
187.
178,
178,000.
500.
178,500.
There was
Now we need a second.
I'll second.
Do we discuss now?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, so my question would be, you said Salvation Army was giving out gas cards to people outside the township. Is that a similar situation we're gonna run into with Flat? I mean, they would not be residents of the township at all.
Well, they served 200 people in DeKalb Township last year. They serve all of DeKalb County.
Okay.
But they, according to the information that was submitted on their application, 200 residents of DeKalb Township received services from FLAP last year.
Gotcha. And so is there a stipulation for them to make sure that within the township?
Every single organization we fund. And what Casey and I discussed is with the contract, we're sending a very detailed map of the township with the boundaries and, you know, seeing if that will help make a difference.
And I know for that organization, some of the a lot of the organic farmers now in this area that do weed control, it's all manual labor.
Yeah.
You know, because there's no chemicals used in organic farming. So I've heard that name and didn't really know a lot about it from resident farmers of this township that have, so it's I wouldn't surprise me seeing how many people are out there in those fields that they don't have 200 people involved.
So yes, we're re-emphasizing that and trying to be more direct about it. And then having some reporting requirements that will come, we're thinking about 3/4 of the way through the fiscal year. So let's, are there any other questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Okay. Supervisor Hess
Yes.
and trustee Akers,
I,
trustee McLaughlin
Yes.
and trustee Thurman.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay. In the past, these organizations have come to board meetings to present on the project that our program we're supporting, and maybe talk a little bit more about how we collaborate. That is something that we do again. Obviously, having all of them is a bit of a stretch. And so what would be helpful to me is maybe if you shot me an email with like maybe your top 5 that you'd like to hear, you know, maybe you're not as familiar with and you'd like to hear a presentation on, and then we can coordinate from there. And I mean, limit it to a 10-minute presentation, so that would be great to do that. Okay, next, can I get a motion for advice and consent for the appointment of Jamie McClan to serve on our Committee on Youth with a term expiring 12/31/2028.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, Jamie currently serves on our Committee on Youth. She works for RAMP. Don't know, she's an advocate of some type or the Youth Services Coordinator. I don't know her exact title. But she is very knowledgeable about the 40 developmental assets. So she's been a great value to the community. She's familiar with the resources in the community. So because of the way that the committee is structured, every year we're approving 1 or 2 people to be on the committee as their terms expire. So that's Jamie has agreed to come back and serve for another 3 years, so happy about that. So any questions on that?
How many people are on that committee?
We have to have a minimum of 5.
Oh.
And so all of our positions are filled. We can have more if you know anyone who's interested.
I'm just curious.
No other questions? Roll call, please.
Okay. Supervisor Hess,
Yes.
trustee McLaughlin,
Yes.
trustee Akers
I,
and trustee Thurman.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Next, can I get a motion to approve the 2026 DeKalb Township building hours, board meeting calendar, and holiday closing calendar?
so moved.
Second.
Okay, so in your list, or in your packet, we have board meeting dates continuing to be on the 3rd Tuesday of the month. And so on April 21st, we will have both our regular board meeting and our annual town meeting. And these are subject to change if anything should come up. And then the township building hours of operation, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30 is when the building is open to the public. The road district maintains different hours, but that's when the building is open to the public. And then the following page is the 2026 holiday dates. Rich and Craig and I sat down and took a look at holidays for the city, the county, the school district,
State.
the state. And we're pretty much the same, have been the same as most of them, you know, taking off the federal holidays. We, I don't know for how many years, but have followed the DeKalb County Courts schedule. And they're up to
Too many.
15 days off. And so we did some modifications, and we used to have Abraham Lincoln's birthday and President's Day off, so 2 days in February. And we collectively agreed that it would probably be a better value to our employees to have Christmas Eve off instead of 2 days in February. And so that's what we opted to do for next year, is have Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off, because a little more going on that time of the year than in the middle of February. So that was the only change to our holiday schedule. Any questions about any of those? Okay, so all those in favor of the 2026 board meeting schedule and calendar signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Abstentions? Okay. That is approved. And then can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the Board of Trustees meeting October 21st, 2025? That motion?
Second.
Any discussion? Very thorough again. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Abstentions? Okay. No old business, no executive session. Other business, I just want you to know that it was posted in the paper that the township budget is being amended. That had to happen 30 days before our December meeting in order for us to have that hearing. So that is available to the public. And I will email that to you so that if you want to take a look, just some line items, we're getting really close. Some line items like the car, we already made that purchase. We know what we've spent, so just moving some money around before the end of the fiscal year. And then our next regular Board of Trustees meeting is December 9th at 6 p.m. And then this Thursday at 5 p.m. is our big celebration. So there's nothing else to discuss. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we are adjourned at 7:09.
He didn't be here for the two.
Yeah, I was gonna ask
What the hell?
for on Thursday, so we should be here by 5, right?
Mhm.
Because there's, okay.